Hi, welcome. My name is Laura McKellen. We are going to do a yoga class here together for 1 hour. I am a teacher based in Denver with Comeback Yoga, and I'm so happy that you're here with us. We're going to start in seated. If you would like, you can use a pillow or a block or some sort of prop, which just acts as a meditation cushion to help you sit up a little bit taller and lengthen your spine. Once you find yourself in a comfortable seat, begin to move just a little bit. So you might roll out your shoulders, both directions, forwards and back. And just notice as you're rolling out any areas that feel tense or tight. You might pause there and give just a little extra time, a little extra attention. And roll out the head, yawn out your jaw, open and close the fists of your hands, roll out your wrists. And use any type of fidgeting or movement that you need to get a little more still, a little more comfortable. If sitting down is uncomfortable for you, you're welcome to lie down for this next portion or sit or stand in any way that feels great. As you lengthen your spine, hug your low belly in just slightly. You have the option to either gaze forwards, down, or close your eyes completely. Whatever helps you to be a little more present with your body. And the first breath that we'll practice together is deep, full belly breathing. If you would like, if it's helpful, you can bring your hands to your low belly. And from here, just begin to breathe naturally. So in through the nose or mouth, and out through the nose or mouth, in whatever way feels right. And as you breathe, notice the movement of your belly. If it feels like the chest is moving more with air, begin to invite your breath a little bit deeper down to the lowest part of your belly beneath your belly button. And on the inhale breath, let your belly puff out like a balloon, let it get really big. And on the exhale breath, navel draws back towards your spine, let it get as hollow, as small as you can. Stay with this breath on your own. Inhales, puff it out, make it as big as you can. And exhale, draw it and let it get nice and hollow. We'll stay with this for a little while, focusing on inviting the breath way down to the deepest part of your belly. And as you connect to this breath, this rhythm, see if you can make it a little bit easier. So you're not only breathing, but you're working on having a big, easy, full breath. Every inhale, you reach to your full capacity. And every exhale, empty to your full capacity. Take a couple more breaths here. How big and easy can you allow it? Not worried about getting it right. Just worrying about how it feels. Noticing how it feels. Awesome. Slowly finish up this next round. And gently release your hands. You can shake them out a little bit if you need to. And inhale, sweep your arms up towards the sky. If your eyes are closed, you're welcome to open them. Option to gaze forwards, down, or up. Feel what feels right to your neck. Then from here, we'll take a side body stretch to the right. Right hand down to the ground. Lean into your right hand, arc your left arm up and over, focus on your left side body. How can you stretch and open your left side body as you reach all the way over to the right? You can move in and out of it, or you can stay still, start to feel where there's tightness in your left side body, and experiment with how you can move or breathe to open up those spaces just a little bit more. Finish it up here. Inhale, reach both arms up towards the ceiling, get nice and tall in your spine. And exhale to the opposite direction, left hand down. You can lean into your hand, arc up and over. Notice your right side body. Feel the stretch happening all the way from the base of your body out through your fingers. And again, you can stay still or feel free to move a little bit. Coming into your edge, that place where you're feeling a lot of sensation, then maybe backing away a little bit. Finding that sweet spot that gives you just enough sensation, but not too much. Finish it up. Inhale, reach both arms back up towards the ceiling. Grow nice and tall in your spine. And exhale, bring your hands down to the mat to a tabletop position. If you're using a cushion or a block, you can remove. If you're lying down on your back, move really slowly to meet us here, listening and beginning to feel the transitions inside your body. From here, rock your hips a little bit side to side. And lean into it, not a whole lot of technique, just you feeling the sides of your ribs, sides of your hips, and noticing any other place where you feel sensation. Cool. Begin to, from here, explore all the different ways your spine can move in tabletop. So we've got the side-to-side action happening. To move your spine front and back, you'll drop your belly down and draw your belly in. Not a whole lot of technique here, just you beginning to warm up and feel all the different directions your spine can move while staying in tabletop. Right? You might revisit the side to side. You might take a little bit more front and back. You might find some combinations. I also like to tuck my toes under and press back into my feet, opening up the bottoms of the feet, stretching out the feet. And just like we did in seated, you're welcome to roll out your head a little bit, open and close your jaw, leaning forwards, leaning back. So the spine can move in 6 directions. We've got side to side, we've got front to back. And to twist, just a simple twist, you can dip one shoulder to midline, gaze to the opposite direction. And same thing to the other side. Dip a shoulder, notice what it feels like, the twisting action, what muscles are getting activated here. And for about 30 more seconds, it's a personal time between you and you. How would you like to move here? If there was one particular movement that felt more interesting or that you notice a little bit of tightness, you might revisit that and just give that part of your body just a little extra attention. And then the tricky part is as you move, can you add a conscious breath? It doesn't have to be anything fancy, just being aware that you're breathing in and that you're breathing out. Finish up any other movement here and press back to child's pose. Draw your knees wide towards the edges of your yoga mat, big toes touch, crawl your hands forwards to rest your forehead on the mat. Now, if for any reason that position does not feel comfortable for you, you can always utilize props, blocks, or pillows. I personally like one block underneath the chest, one block underneath the head. You kind of draw in and bend your elbows from here. While staying in child's pose, take a couple conscious breaths. So you feel the air come in and you feel the air come out. This breath is the base of your yoga practice. As we continue to move, your job is to not only notice your body, but to feel and continue to use your breath consciously. If you're using blocks, begin to move them out of your way. We'll take this into downward facing dog. Inhale, rise up. Tuck your toes under. Keep your knees really bent as you press your hips up and back. Spread your fingers wide, and just like we did in tabletop, you're welcome to pedal out your heels. You're welcome to sway your hips. If you feel any pain in this position, you can always lower back to your knees and get a stretch in tabletop. You'll get the same area, just a little bit different sensation. Then notice how easy it is to forget about the breath, right? Come back to the conscious breath in and a conscious breath out. Continue to spread your fingers wide and find a softness to your face. Take a deep breath in. Exhale, either walk to the top of your mat or drop down to your knees and take a big step forwards to the top of your mat. You can use your blocks or pillows. We'll meet in our first forward fold. Different options for forward fold. You can allow your arms to dangle
You can bring your hands on blocks, or you can rest your forearms on top of your thighs. As long as your head is below your heart, you're getting the same benefits. What works for your spine, what works for your back, to create sensation of stretching without pain. There's a difference between discomfort. There will be a little discomfort with the stretching, but it's different than the sensation of pain. From here, you might shake out your head a little bit, yawn out your jaw, any of those same movements that we found in seated, in tabletop. How can you open up the back line of your legs, back line of your spine? Keep the weight of your body slightly drawing forwards towards your toes, and hollow out your belly by drawing it up to your spine and engage the core. Couple more breaths here. Option to take it a little bit deeper by straightening your legs and letting your head hang a little bit more. Toe heel your feet a little bit closer together. If you're somebody with low back sensitivities, I highly recommend feet inner hips width distance apart. Otherwise, big toes can connect. There's a little bit of space in between your heels. You are always welcome to change your mind. Inhale, find a halfway lift. Hands come up onto your shins or your thighs to create a nice line of energy from the top of your head out through your tail. Draw your belly in, find a flat spine. Exhale to your forward fold. Forearms on thighs, arms dangle, or use your blocks. Let your head be heavy. Slow, come to standing. Inhale, reach your arms up towards the sky for mountain pose. Option to gaze forwards or up. Find what works for you. Soften your shoulders. Draw your front ribs together. Exhale, hands draw into your sternum. Spread your fingers wide. Stand nice and tall. Take a moment in stillness. Notice the difference between a forward fold and standing upright. Now the head is above the heart. What does it feel like here? Deep breath in. Out your mouth. Beautiful, and shake it out.
Yeah, and then come into just a little more stillness. As we move through practice, if you ever want to move a little bit or shake a little bit, you are so welcomed. We are not statues, right? Our bodies are mostly water, so feel free to move at any point in time. Take a moment to feel your feet. And feel the points of your feet that are touching the ground. And begin to sway a little bit. So you're rocking the weight a little bit side to side, just beginning to feel the sensation of your feet touching the ground and the ground touching your feet. Bring your feet as wide as your mat, a really wide base. And just notice internally what it feels like to stand like this. Then bring your feet a little bit closer together so they're about inner hips width distance apart, all 10 toes pointing forwards. Take a moment to feel what it feels like to stand like this. Then draw your big toes to connect. Notice how it feels like to stand like this. And give yourself permission to choose any degree of your feet so that you feel nice and balanced and sturdy. From here, shine your hands forwards, lengthen through your spine, stand nice and tall, find a little proud chest. Inhale, sweep your arms up to the sky. Exhale, forward fold. Lean forwards, find your forward fold, long, flat spine. Inhale, lift up to a halfway lift, big breath. Exhale, bow, forward fold, your forward fold. Inhale, stand tall, reach up towards the ceiling, stand and root into your feet. Exhale, hands draw into heart. We'll stay with this. Focus on your breath. Inhale, reach your arms high, grow nice and tall. Exhale, forward fold. Bend your knees, lean forwards, forearms on thighs, arms dangle or hands down. Inhale, halfway lift. Grow your spine, reach your head forward, belly draws up. Exhale, forward fold. Let your head completely hang. Inhale, mountain pose. Press into your feet, strengthen your legs, reach up towards the ceiling. Exhale, hands to heart, pull it in. One more time, bigger breath. Inhale, reach your arms high. Exhale, bow in. Really awesome breath. Inhale, lift up halfway. Exhale, bow, forward fold, head hangs. Inhale, stand tall, reach up towards the ceiling, get as tall as you can, spread your fingers wide. Exhale, hands to heart. Stand a little bit taller. Press into your feet, lengthen the crown of your head. Take a moment in stillness. Feel your body from the inside out as much as you can. And shake it out. Nice. The shaking is kind of a release, right? So if you ever feel an area that feels a little tense or tight, just kind of shake it out and see what happens. Come to standing at the top of your mat and just notice a little bit of movement in your spine. What does it feel like now to be you physically? Where are there tight areas? Where are there open areas? Notice the heat in your body. Is it coming in? You feel a little bit of coolness. Notice the thoughts in your mind. Then come back to your breath. The breath is always moving automatically every day in and out. In this practice, we just bring awareness, attention to it. We'll change up the movement a little bit here. Inhale, sweep your arms back up to the sky. And this time we'll take a twist to the right. Exhale your right arm to the wall behind you, left arm to the wall in front of you. Gaze over to the right. Turn your palms out and soften your shoulders. Then check in with your hips. If the hips came with the twist, draw your hips to face back towards the front of your room. Soften your jaw. And then just like we did in every other posture, you are welcome to take it all the way to your edge and really reach, and maybe back away. So you're feeling the difference of sensation all the way to the edge and relieving a little bit. And where's your sweet spot? A spot where you're feeling the twist in your upper spine, but it's not too much. Beautiful. Now listen carefully. Keep your body where it is. Exhale, just look forward with your head. Inhale, reach both arms up to the sky, mountain. Same thing to the other side. Left arm back, exhale, right arm forwards. Shine your palms away from your body. Soften your shoulders, stand nice and tall. And then play around a little bit, right? Draw your hips forwards. Option to reach your left arm to the back wall and feel your edge all the way there, and then back away a little bit, right? It's not about the edge always in yoga. It's about learning to feel your body and notice what choices work for you in this moment right now. Listen carefully. Same fancy transition. Body stays where it is. Exhale, just gaze forward with your face. Inhale, now lift your arms back to center. Awesome. And exhale, shake it out. The twist can be a little bit more challenging, a little more uncomfortable, so be patient with yourself. Awesome. And we'll flow through that twist a couple times together. Inhale, reach your arms up towards the ceiling, press into your feet. Exhale to the right, right arm back, left arm forwards. Inhale, just gaze forward with your head and lift your arms all the way up to the sky. To the left, exhale, left arm back, shine your palms out, soften your face. Inhale, just gaze forwards, both arms up. Awesome, and release, shake it down. If there's a part of your body that you're kind of neglecting, right? Maybe your feet you haven't shaked out, maybe your legs a little bit, right? It's okay to look weird. The weirder, the more benefits you might experience. Stand tall. Notice what it feels like to be you now. Well, we're gonna do a little releasing movement. On the inhale, reach your arms up, stand nice and tall. You can gaze forwards or up, feel what feels right to you. On the exhale, bend your knees, swing your arms back behind you, keep the weight back in your heels, draw your belly in. We'll move through this a couple times. Inhale, lift. Exhale, swing and release. Awesome, and you're at your own pace here. We'll be here for more than a couple times. We'll be here for a short while. And use this movement, use this breath to release something. Maybe it's the breath. On the exhale, you swing it back. On the inhale, you lift up. Nice, and you can float your arms and let it be nice and soft movement, or you can really swing your arms and let some extra energy out of your body. Try both. See what feels right to you. And you could imagine that each time you exhale and swing, you're letting any tension out of your body, any areas that feel a little uncomfortable, right? Invite those areas to open up, to release. Yes, and use your attention to feel the air around your arms. Arms can be like feathers, they can float, or they can cut through more like a knife and be really firm. Stay with it. If you get dizzy, you can always take a little bit of a break. But think about cleaning house, right? You're cleaning your mobile home, your body. Stay with it, just a couple more. Awesome breath. We're here for 3. 2, we'll meet in standing. And 1, shake it out. Take care of yourself. It might take a moment to reorient to the space. Totally normal if you feel dizzy. But notice, do you feel any tingling, any pulsating, any heat? Feel it. Where do you feel it? Is it all over your body? Is it in one place? If you need to move as you're finding stillness, right, take care of your body. This practice is a lot more about learning to try softer than learning to try harder. Feel your heart rate coming down. Feel the tingling beginning to subside. Inhale, sweep your arms up slower than you have all class. Exhale, forward fold, bend your knees, lean forwards, long spine. Inhale, lift up halfway, take long spine. Little change here. Exhale, plant your palms, step back to tabletop. And just like we began class. Beautiful. And bring your hands about outer shoulder width distance apart. Doesn't have to be perfect. And you have the option here to lean forward onto your knees and pause, or take 3 to 5 yogi push-ups. You'll use your breath for these. Inhale, bend your elbows in, lower halfway. Exhale, press. Yes, if you want to stay up on your knees, go for it. Exhale to press. Awesome. Let's get strong together. Here's number 3. Pause here if you'd like, or take 2 more. Inhale, lower. Exhale, press. Shoulders down away from the ears. 1 more. Press it up. Whew. Find a big, straight, long arms, long spine. Lower your feet down to the mat and come all the way onto your belly. Awesome. Take a moment to feel the reorientation down on your belly. Lengthen your legs back behind you. Draw your hands underneath your elbows. Hug your elbows in towards your side bodies. Inhale, lift your heart off the mat. Nice. This posture is called Cobra Pose. You can feel how you have a nice tail in your legs. Root down your feet. The heart gets nice and buoyant. Option to press down into your hands. Lift a little higher for 3, 2, and 1. Nice job. Gently release. Bring your left ear to the mat. Gaze to the right. Release your arms down by your sides, palms up. Take a moment of stillness and let your body get really heavy. Nothing to do here, but notice and feel your breath. Your chest and belly rising against the ground. The residue from your movement. Bring your chin or forehead back to the center of your yoga mat and clasp hands behind your back. If this is too much to interlace fingers, you can have your hands palms down by your sides or even down on the mat. Inhale, lift your heart and your legs. So everything lifts off the mat. Use every muscle. Lift as high as you'd like. Reach your hands behind you. Lengthen through the crown of your head. Take it to your edge for 3, 2. Slowly lower. 1. Gaze to the opposite direction
Release your hands by your sides, palms up. If you're feeling any stickiness or tension in your low back, you can sway your hips or bend your knees and let your feet windshield side to side. And just feel your heart rate coming down, finding a little bit of stillness. Notice where you can soften. Can you soften your eyes? Just 5% more. Allow the muscles of your face to get a little softer. Come back to center, and this time press back up to tabletop. Find a seated position that's comfortable for you. We're going to do some more breathing. If you would like, you're always welcome to lie down. Especially if you're at home, you might choose to sit on a couch. I personally love sitting on a block. It just helps to sit a little bit taller. This next breath practice we're going to do requires you to breathe out of both nostrils. Now we'll have different demonstrations here. So if you feel like you don't want to touch your face or it doesn't feel right to you, there's different options. As you sit nice and tall, I'll demonstrate the breath to you first, and then I'll cue it all together. You'll use your right hand for the breath. I like to tuck down the the pointer finger, index finger, and middle finger so that you don't get confused. We'll use the ring finger and the thumb to plug the nostrils for this breath. Now again, as I cue, if you choose to not touch your face, you can just visualize the air coming in the right, coming out the left. It does not require you to be perfect. Just requires you to be present with your breath and invite the breath through each nostril and out each nostril. If you'd like to use your hand, you can come along with me. Draw your index finger and middle finger back down. And we'll start by plugging the left nostril with your ring finger. Exhale the breath out your right nostril. Stay with the hand, inhale up the right. Switch, thumb to right nostril, exhale out the left. Stay and inhale up the left. Switch and exhale out the right. Stay and inhale up the right. Switch and exhale out the left. Stay and inhale. Switch and exhale. Stay and inhale. Switch and exhale. Stay and inhale, big breath. Exhale, let it be a little softer. Soften your hands, stay for the inhale. Switch for the exhale. Stay and inhale. Switch and exhale. One more round. Stay with it. Inhale up the right. Switch and exhale out the left. Stay and inhale up the left. Switch and exhale out the right. And release. Hands down to your thighs. Take a moment in stillness. If you need to shake or move, go for it. And just notice the residue of that breathing practice. Maybe you're more aware of your breath. Maybe you're more aware of your nose. Maybe you feel a little shift. And it is okay if you don't. Awesome. Slowly find your way to downward facing dog. Plant your hands shoulder width distance. Tuck your toes under. Keep your knees really bent as you press your hips up and back. Now focus on elongating your spine. So we've opened up the spine in many different directions. And from here, you might be able to find a little more length as you press into your hands and reach your chest and belly towards your thighs. On the exhale, draw your right knee to your right outer wrist. Heel is close to your hips. Lengthen your left leg back. If you would like, you can bring a pillow or a block underneath your right hip for a little more stability. Sit nice and tall. Lift your heart forwards. Find a proud chest. And on the exhale, walk your torso forwards for sleeping pigeon. As you come down, find a way to rest your forehead. So for my body, it works to use my forearms. You might stack your fists, or again, use a prop like a block or a pillow to rest your forehead down. And as you take this posture, focus on your breath. Let your hips be nice and heavy. Allow your face to soften. And notice as time progresses, what changes. So you might feel this in your outer hip, your outer right hip. You might feel this in your back leg. Maybe you feel a stretch in your spine. There's no right or wrong. What do you feel in your body right now? And it's okay if you feel nothing. That's still feeling something. Right? Notice, what is it? Then as you're scanning your body with awareness, notice where tension is forming in your body. Can you allow those places to soften just a little bit more? And we'll stay here in silence together, allowing your body to take on as much weight as possible and allowing your breath to be big and easy. If you ever need to come out of the posture before I cue it, listen to your body. Your body is your best teacher, more than me. Soften your face. Unclench your jaw. And take in just a little more breath. Let it be a little easier. Slower than you want to, begin to press into your hands to lift your torso upright. Take a moment to find a little bit of a back bend, puff up your chest, then plant your palms down, tuck your back toes under, step back to down dog. If you want to shake out your right leg a little bit to get the blood flow back in, feel free. Then in down dog, you might pedal out your heels and just notice your right hip versus your left hip. Maybe you feel a shift. Maybe you feel a small shift. Maybe you feel no shift. But what do you feel? And we'll take the same posture to the other side. Left knee to your outer left wrist crease, all the way out to the outer edge of your yoga mat. Lengthen your right leg back. Keep your heel close to your hips. Lift up your heart. Find a big, proud chest and walk it forwards. If you use props on the other side and that felt supportive, feel free to do it again. If you use blocks and didn't quite feel supportive, play around, experiment, right? Feel in a sensory way how you can support your body to come into just a little bit of stillness here and let your body take on a lot of weight. Your hips get heavy, belly softens, forehead rests on something, and your attention is on your breath and getting curious about how sensation changes as you hold this posture. Acknowledging that most of the power, most of the magic of yoga is just paying attention to your body, paying attention to your breath, getting to know how you show up, how your body responds in each shape. Soften your shoulders, soften your face. Let your breath flow.
Big and easy, in and out through your body. Slowly begin to walk your torso upright.
We'll transition the same way we did on the other side. Lift your heart, find a nice long spine first. Tuck your back toes under. Downward facing dog. Left leg can get a little shake. And settle in. Spread your fingers wide. Take a couple big, easy breaths right here. And gently drop down to your knees. Find a seated position and draw your legs forwards in front of you. We'll take a seated forward fold. So it's the same shape that we did standing, we're just sitting down. There's different ways, right? I like to rock a little bit to really root down the sit bones. Option 1, legs straight, right? You can reach your arms up and fold from here. Personally, I love using props, blocks or a pillow, maybe behind your knees so you don't have to think about your legs. Feel what feels right to you. Reach up, grow nice and tall, and gently fold forward. Reach your belly towards your thighs. Let everything surrender. It is not about touching your toes. It is about feeling the sensation in the back of your legs, back of your spine. Where is your edge? Right, as you approach a place where there's a lot of sensation, feel it, right? Are you waiting for me to call you out of it, or can you hang out just a little bit more? If it feels like too much, back away. Right? There's no winning in yoga, there's no trophies, it's just you getting to know yourself. Find a position that works for you and you're welcome to move, right? I like to back away on the inhale and fold in a little bit deeper on the exhale. Or you can stay still and focus your breath, but just notice, pay attention to what you're doing, and let it be conscious. You can either really activate your feet or let them flop out, right? Different styles to help you stretch out the back line of your body. If you'd like, you can take it just a little bit deeper, pull into your edge. We're here for just a couple more breaths. And gently walk your torso back upright. If you're using props, bring them to the side. And slowly come onto your back for our final time. As you come to lying down, let's take a moment to reorient, feeling the weight of your back body meeting the ground. If you'd like to straighten your legs for a moment, feel free, or roll out your wrists. Then bend your knees and draw your feet about hip-width distance apart, all 10 toes pointing forwards. Inhale, lift your hips for a little back bend. Press your hip bones up towards the ceiling, reach your heart to your chin, and draw your chin away from your heart. Now from here, you're in charge. If you would like to take it deeper, press into your feet, lift your hips a little higher. Option to clasp hands behind your back and shimmy, draw your shoulders a little closer together to create a little bit more of a lift from your chest. Root down into your feet, take it up just a little bit more. Breathe here. Let the breath flow as you hold this shape. Press down into your feet, lift your heart. Take a full breath in. And slowly release your hands and lower your hips down. Inhale, lift your hips right back up, same posture. Option to take it to that same spot, or you can experiment with different sensation. You do not have to go to your edge. Go to a place that gives you sensation so you can feel your body, then send your attention to those places that you're aware of. What muscles are working for you to keep your hips lifted? Press down into your feet. Take a deep breath in. Big exhale, lower down your spine, touch your hips. We'll do that one more time with one breath. Inhale, lift your hips. Find your edge that works for your spine and hips. And exhale, come back down. You have two options for a counter posture. You can either bring your feet really wide on the mat and knock your inner thighs towards one another. Other option, feet together, knees out wide. What feels best for your low back and your hips? Check in, feel it. Make a choice that feels best for your body. Then gently and slowly bring your feet back down, knees up. Give yourself a big squeeze, preparing for a twist on our backs. Draw your knees in, give yourself a big squeeze. Leave your head on the ground. Keep your right knee drawing in, extend your left leg long. Squeeze your right knee up into your right armpit. Then find a supported twist on your back. Opposite hand to outer thigh. Draw your knee across your torso. Right arm extends straight out from your right shoulder. Arm can be straight or elbow can be bent like a goalie post. Option to gaze up towards the sky, or if it feels okay, gaze over your right shoulder to get a full twist of your spine. And allow your body to get nice and heavy. Everything begins to melt down into the ground. Give your right knee another big squeeze. Draw your left knee in. And we'll take the twist on the other side. Interlace fingers on your shin. Give yourself a big squeeze. Then exhale, draw your knee across your torso over to the right. Left arm extends out to the left. It can be straight like a capital T or bent like a goalie post. Option to gaze straight up to the sky or over your left shoulder, as long as that's not painful to you. Allow your body to get nice and heavy. Allow your face to soften. Option to use a block underneath your knee, just like we did on the other side, to create a little more release. And gently return onto your back body. Give your left knee another squeeze and draw your right knee in to meet it. Draw both knees in, give yourself a big compression. Keep your head on the mat. Extend your legs up to the sky with your arms down by your sides. If you want to use your hands for support, you can. You are welcome to stay still. We're beginning to calm down, beginning to settle down to the end of class. If any movement is calling to you, movement in your feet or opening your legs a little bit, no right or wrong here. You can stay still or add just a little bit of movement. As long as the feet stay lifted and feel the weight of your low back connect down into the floor. Take a couple moments here, just allowing everything to get a little heavier, noticing any judgments that you might have, letting them pass by just focusing on your breath. Slowly and gently draw your knees back into your torso. Give yourself another big compression. Option to lift your head up this time and curl into a tight ball. And we'll take it into our final posture, Shavasana, yoga sleep. Bring your heels wide towards the corners of your yoga mat, palms face up. If you are somebody with low back sensitivities like me, I love to use blocks or pillows behind the knees, just like a bolster. That creates a little more surface area for your low back and allows you to settle in a little more comfortably to the ground. I'm going to come to seated so that I don't fall asleep. We'll take a nice long relaxation here together. If you have any props around you, like pillows or blankets, I encourage you to use them. You might use them underneath your knees, underneath your arms, your head. You might place a blanket over your body. We'll be here for a good amount of time, taking a little rest, a conscious rest. As you lie here on the ground, scan your body from the inside out. Notice any places that are asking for a little more space. Maybe your arms want to get a little wider or your legs want to get a little wider. And take a deep breath in through your nose. out your mouth. If you would like, you can follow along with my cues. Otherwise, feel free to just rest. It is okay to fall asleep. Allow your body to do what it needs right here. As you settle in, notice your feet. Notice your heels connected to the ground. Feel your toes touching space, touching air. And allow all 10 toes to get really heavy. The feet might splay out a little bit more to the side. As the heaviness of your toes begins to move into your feet. So now all 10 toes and both feet are really heavy with weight, beginning to anchor into the earth, beginning to get just a little heavier. The same weight from your toes and your feet moves up into your ankles, allowing any engagement of your muscles within your feet and ankles to release, allowing a little more weight to come in. Calves and shins get heavy as the shin bones spin off to the sides and the calf muscles unclench. Now all 10 toes, both feet, lower legs, heavy with weight. Kneecaps soften. And the thighs begin to take on just a little more weight, just like the lower half of your legs. Front of your thighs get heavy. Back of your thighs get heavy. Feeling both legs super heavy as they begin to weigh down into the ground. Hips heavy. Your hip bones are pretty dense. Allow that weight to ground your low back into the floor. And feeling the full lower half of your body heavy with weight. Draw your awareness to your torso. Notice the space of your torso. And go inside, feeling the viscera of your belly. Allow your anatomical stomach to soften. Allow your intestines to soften. Kidneys, liver, all the organs inside your belly release just 5% more. Soften your chest, allowing the space of your heart to get a little heavier, a little softer. Shoulders melt down into the floor. The same weight that's in your lower body begins to come into your arms. Heads of your shoulders heavy. Upper arms get a little heavier. Forearms way down. Hands heavy. Entire body right here, as heavy as it can be. Locate the palate at the roof of your mouth. And allow this space to soften just a little bit more. The tongue gets a little bit heavier. And all the muscles of your face begin to drain. Eyebrows heavy. Cheekbones heavy. Eyes just a little heavier. Notice your entire body right here. And stay present with sensation. Again, if it feels like you're drifting off into sleep, don't fight it. Allow your body to do what it needs. We'll stay here together in stillness, in silence, for just a couple more moments. Consciously allowing your body to take the rest it deserves. Draw your awareness slowly back into your body, back into this room. Begin to notice any sounds that you're hearing, sounds of my voice, any sounds in the room around you. Notice any tastes in your mouth, move your tongue, move your teeth. Notice any smells in the air. And begin to use a little bit of movement. First from your breath, let the breath become conscious again. Then find some movement, small movement first, maybe in your hands, your feet, your fingers, your toes. Then check in with your joints. You might roll out your wrists, you might roll out your ankles. There's no right or wrong here. It's just you awakening your body and experimenting with the best way for you to kindly awaken your body. You might roll your head a little bit side to side. And as you continue to move, you have the option to take a full body stretch and reach your arms overhead, stretch all the way out through to your feet. Option to give yourself a little self-massage on your neck, your shoulders, your jawline. And maybe you draw your knees into your torso and sway a little bit or rock a little bit. Or finding your way to seated. You can either roll onto one side body or slowly press yourself straight up. Find a comfortable position for you. Draw your hands in front of your chest. Right hand meets the left. Left hand meets the right. Grow nice and tall in your spine. And take this opportunity right here to find some gratitude for something in your life, big or small. One thing that you are grateful for right here in this moment. Draw your thumbs right in between your eyebrows. It's a respectful goodbye. Namaste.